Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Global Learn Day. I am Humaira Ilyas, I'm from Pakistan and I'm life mentor at Peaceful Souls. I'm feeling really very excited to be part of Global Learn Day 2018, and I'm thankful to Jennifer and for letting us join with her in this beautiful experience. So if we talk about learning is I think is the basic skill that every human being need to have if he or she wanted to learn any of the other skills in the life. And it is, I would say, a foundation stone for all kinds of other learning skills. While staying in a developing country, I have been analyzing for years the reasons why we are not having children with leadership skills. I have been working with the students also, I have been working with the females also, I have been working with males also, and I have found that there are certain lackings in certain places while we are upbringing our children. So we need to work on those places so that we can have a really the polished leadership quality children. Because it is said that leaders are born, they are not created. It means that we need to have obviously these children are present within our society, but we need to focus on polishing their skills so that we can have children who have these capabilities and who are able to show these capabilities to the societies. So for these things, first thing that I find is that we are lacking this emotional intelligence part of our life. And while working with emotional intelligence, I found that emotional intelligence is just you can say it's capability for a person to control the emotions, to manage his or her behaviors in such a way that he can respond to the social complexities in a very positive manner, and he or she can find the results that he or she decides. So as per the definition, emotional intelligence can be categorized into 4 skills, basic skills, and there can be 2 primary competencies regarding emotional skill. These 2 primary competencies are personal competencies and social competencies. If we talk about personal competencies, these are self-awareness and self-management. We are knowing ourselves, how we are feeling, what our emotions are, why we are having these emotions, and self-management, if we are having any of the positive or negative emotions, how we can control these emotions. These comes under self-competencies. And the second competency in this regard is a social competency. In social competency, we are knowing that others are having the similar kind of difficulties, and while addressing to the difficulties of those persons, what we can do, how we can use their positive attitudes towards enhancing our positive attitudes or their negative attitudes in defining ourselves, that what our worth is. These are the core skills of emotional intelligence. So if we like to compare it with another social skill that is gaining fame right now, is social emotional learning. So social emotional learning, the name indicates, it's kind of learning in which we are having the knowledge of not only social skills, but we are having the knowledge of emotional skills also. We are capable of managing these emotions in such a way that we can gain all the positive outcomes of whatever we wanted to gain. SEL or social emotional learning, it consists of 5 basic skills. These are open-mindedness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, extroversion, and agreeability. If a person is having these 5 basic skills, we can say that person is having social emotional learning. He is working according to social and emotional basis so that he or she can be successful, or he can gain the best positive outcomes of the surroundings of the society. Now next we will talk about the 5 cornerstones of social emotional learning. These 5 cornerstones are cognizance, then there is steering yourself, and societal sense, then is 4th one is kinship management, and the final one is amenable peaks. If a person is able to go through all these things in a very sensible way, we can say that this person is able to control his or her emotions in such a way that these can be taken in a very positive manner, and this can be used to enhance the success rate of his or her works. So this is all about social emotional learning. If we correlate it with the leadership traits, so there are certain leadership traits which makes a leader a real leader, so that he gives a vision and people follow him. He is the one who makes a path, and the people, they walk on that path. So for that purpose, there are certain leadership traits that a person, if he is having, then people, they will follow him blindly. These leadership traits are emotional stability. If we remember from our SEL discussion, this emotional stability, we have discussed that social emotional learning contains this emotional stability. If a person is emotionally stable, he can take any of the risks, which is risk taking is a kind of quality of a leader. So if he is emotionally stable, then only he can take risks. So if he is able to take those risks, then obviously the people, they will blindly follow him. And if we check in our society, either our children, they are so emotionally stable that they can take any kind of risk. Honestly saying, if we will always say them, no, don't do this, this is not the right way to do, don't jump on the sofas, don't try to climb the trees, you will fall down, these things does not create emotional stability in the child. So it means we start suppressing the leaders before they can be formed. So next is dominance. If a child from the very childhood is having a dominant behavior, he is able to take decisions, he is able to defend his decisions, and he is able to comply with his decisions, whatever he takes, in such a manner that these can be implemented successfully. This dominance is a character trait of a leader. Now start finding the leaders around you, start analyzing your children, either they are having these capabilities, and if we are suppressing those capabilities of our children, then we need to work on ourselves so that we can have leaders in our future. Conscientiousness is one of the character trait of leaders. If a leader is able to take the decisions very carefully while critically analyzing everything in the surrounding, then he is said to be having conscientiousness. So this is also in line with the 5 skills of our SEL that we have discussed earlier. And then enthusiasm. If a leader is not an enthusiast, then he is not a leader. He is visionary. He is the one who will provide you enthusiasm. He will push you. He will motivate you to do the things that others cannot do. Right? And then he is so socially bold that he is not afraid of taking any difficult decisions. So it means these leadership qualities are present in our children, and these are in line with the social emotional learning. And what we do with our children, and even with the adults also, we don't let them talk. It means we suppress their social emotional learning. We don't let them take decisions boldly. It means we are suppressing their social emotional learning. So we need to work on promoting SEL so that we can have leaders in our next generation. Tough-mindedness, self-assurance, boldness, and having control of their emotions. Whatever hardship comes to the person, he is able to respond to it very carefully. Then we can say that this person is having leadership qualities. So these leadership qualities can only be created by promoting social emotional learning. If you are not letting our children learn these all social skills, then it means we are suppressing the leaders to be born in the future. So have a happy day, and wishing great success to the Global Learn Day. My message to all the parents, and especially to all the society, is that please work on creating this social emotional learning environment for our children, and for the adults also, who are grown up also, who didn't get this opportunity to be socially and emotionally learned during their childhood. We need to give them this opportunity so that they can be leaders right now. It's never too late to learn. Let's learn together to be leaders.